Whether it is your child or a child participating in a program in which you are working, observing their behavior is a key part of being aware. It is also a good opportunity to learn which adults are allowing the youth to do activities that you would not permit. Notice if any of the signs and symptoms are appearing in your children or other children around you. There are general behavioral changes that occur in child victims of sexual abuse. The difficulty for observers is that many of these behaviors may be symptoms of other physical or emotional problems rather than actual abuse. While not a comprehensive list, some possible indicators of sexual abuse include excessive bathing, withdrawal and isolation from others, use of sexually explicit language, acting out sexual behaviors, changes in schoolwork or habits, bedwetting and other types of regressive behavior, soiling undergarments, substance abuse, and self-inflicted abuse. Although the behavioral signs do not necessarily mean that a child is being or has been abused, these may be indicators that something may not be right or off. It is essential that adults do whatever it takes to find out what is happening, especially if there is a sudden behavioral change.
It's bad enough being molested, and then you have to go tell someone about it. And I just thought it would be better to keep it to myself and not tell anyone. Plus, I really didn't have anyone to tell. I was afraid I would get in trouble. And I couldn't tell my mom because I was afraid she might be mad at me.
Many children will deny having been abused or will even recant after telling. They're afraid of being blamed. They're afraid of being contradicted by a more influential person. They're afraid of what their parents, family, and friends may say. The molester may have even convinced them that they were at fault. But patient, non-judgmental listening will usually allow the story to come out.
Children don't always say exactly what they mean. Sometimes their body language or the way they say something is more important than the words they use.
Open communication is the enemy of a child molester. Parents must do whatever it takes to maintain that communication. Let your children know that they can tell you anything, that you will believe them, and that they will not get into trouble for coming to you. Let them know that you are on their side and will help them handle any situation that occurs. Parents and other caring adults must talk to, listen to, and observe children and speak up when something does not seem right. Step 5 is communicate your concerns.
Communicate your concerns when you see something that looks suspicious, inappropriate, or that makes you feel uncomfortable.
It is rare for an adult to actually witness abuse. Most abuse occurs in private with no other adults or children around. In fact, molesters often go to great lengths to make sure they're not observed. But if you maintain a high level of awareness, you can see warning signs that a child is in danger.
To put a stop to child sexual abuse in our society, adults and children must be willing to speak up, communicate concerns, and report suspected abuse. Communicating your concerns addresses 2 issues that can arise for responsible, caring adults. Each is important and each addresses serious situations that put children and adults at risk. First and most important is, anytime an adult has a reasonable suspicion a child is being or has been abused, it is the moral and possibly legal responsibility of that person to report the suspicions to civil authorities.
All states have laws that require professionals who work with children to report suspected child abuse. Many require everyone to report, not just confirmed cases, but even if they just have a suspicion. Some people find that hard because they're afraid they might be wrong or that they might alienate someone. But such courageous reports have rescued many victimized kids from terrible torment. You can even make such reports anonymously, and if you make the reports in good faith, you can't get into trouble.
You can find the phone number for the Child Abuse Hotline through an internet search or within a phone directory. If you are aware that a child is in danger of abuse at that moment, then call 911.
Report any disclosure from a child. Report allegations or information from third parties. Report behavioral, physical, or emotional signs that a child is being or has been abused or neglected.